Now it's time to talk about the Star Wars film that everyone agrees about, right? What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and this is it. This is the final review until later tonight when I see Rise of Skywalker, which my review will be up on my channel. But this is my review for Star Wars Episode VIII, The Last Jedi. This movie, of course, was directed by Rian Johnson. And you know what this movie is? It's really another setup film that really kind of just deflates a lot of what people were expecting from the sequel to The Force Awakens. We see Rey, Finn, Poe, Kylo Ren, all of the new heroes and villains. This time Rey is training with Luke, learning her ways as a Jedi. Finn is off on some really ridiculous and non-existent story thread that if you take out the movie changes nothing about this movie. Poe is learning really what a leader is and how he needs to not be such a flyboy and not be so prideful, but also be considerate of how to be a good leader. And Kylo, well, Kylo, he is getting closer with Rey. Now, it may sound like I really don't like this movie, but I gotta say, I actually do like this movie. There are things that I really like about this film. There are some aspects that I really love about this film. However, there are aspects that I really do not like and that did not work for me. But to me, the good outweighs the bad in this situation because I do feel like there's more good in this movie than bad. Let's just start off with the bad, okay? Canto Bite, yeah, I'm not even going to talk about that crap. Absolute waste of screen time. Because if you take a look at that sequence of events, what happens during all that stuff in Canto Bite, you take that out of the movie, nothing changes. Nothing. I mean, what do we get out of it? Benicio del Toro's character is actually a smuggler. Like, he doesn't really have a certain side that he leans favorably to. Okay, that's it. And free the animals. Actually, Canto Bite, this time I watched it, I decided, you know what, I'm not going to watch the Canto Bite stuff anymore. Just really don't like it. It feels so prequel to me and so throwaway that this time around, I did not watch it. I skipped right past it. And guess what? The movie was a lot better. And I didn't miss anything. Another thing I don't like about this film is the fact that Luke Skywalker has really become a gray Jedi. He is not the type of hero that we expected, nor really we wanted. And it doesn't make sense if you really think about everything Luke had to go through up to this point in time. You know, having to face down his father, Darth Vader, having to take down the entire Empire. That is so taxing on an individual, and he went through a lot of trials. In this movie, you're trying to tell me he's a gray Jedi and really has kind of shut off from the Force because his nephew was tempted by Snoke and turned to the dark side. Get it? There's a lot of grief there because he trained, you know, all these kids. He didn't want to let down Han and Leia, but it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up, and I just don't really like it. I feel like it's kind of a cop-out. I disagree with the way that they handled Luke in this movie because what Luke does at the end of the film is awesome, but it doesn't feel completely earned, if that makes sense, just because of everything we went through in this film with him kind of being closed off from the Force, him not really wanting the Jedi Order to even exist at that point. I mean, there's just so much wrong with it that I just can't get behind. There's also a lot of cliches, some cheesy moments. You know, the Porgs really aren't that amazing. I don't think they're that cute. They're kind of annoying. And the fact that Finn gets a stronghold over Captain Phasma, who I think has such great potential as a character, but she has been wasted up to this point. Especially in this movie, she's a throwaway character. And I really hope we don't see her in Episode 9 because what's the point? They're just going to continue to crap all over Captain Phasma, who actually could be a very intriguing character. And the fact that Finn gets lucky and he beats her by luck. This movie is frustrating. There are moments of pure genius and brilliance by Rian Johnson. But there are also moments where you look at this film and you realize why the audiences are kind of so split. Now, I'm not saying that people who hate this film should really crap on the actors, crap on Rian Johnson, basically want to, you know, cause anarchy and mayhem all over the place. Like, that is something that you should never do. It's just a movie. Can't put my head in the sand and pretend like none of these problems exist. This is a movie that is very convoluted. It's bold. Rian Johnson tries to do something different, and it feels at times like it's its own thing. But it doesn't really add on to the story or the nature of where Episode 7 was kind of leaning towards. And that's the thing that everyone, I think, has a problem with. The things I love, though, the throne room scene with Rey and Kylo is freaking epic. One of my favorite scenes in Star Wars history. I just love that scene. I love how it plays out. I love that, you know, you get two conflicting sides who come together for just one moment in time. It's so cool. It's something that we'll never see. The fact that Snoke dies, I also really like, because it really shows and it demonstrates that Kylo Ren is the big bad, not Snoke. Like, Kylo Ren is the guy that you are supposed to fear in this trilogy of films. I mean, obviously this new one we have the Emperor, so we'll see how he plays a part in it, but Kylo is really the big bad and not Snoke, which I really like. He was really just a plot device to move the narrative of Kylo Ren's arc forward, and it just shows how clear his mission is to really wipe out his entire past. He wants to just start fresh and new. I don't like what they do with Finn's character. Rose, I feel like, you know, a lot of people are already kind of riding her off, but I'll say this. Give her some decent things to do. And I think that maybe in this next movie she will be better. Don't make her so much kind of in the forefront. Kind of make her a little bit more in the background and hide her a little bit. I think that there's some subtleties that the character could really do in order to really improve upon the image that we got in this movie, because I really don't feel like her writing was all that great. And it was just a really waste of a storyline with her and Finn kind of going off trying to find a code breaker that really ultimately doesn't pan out at all. I also really like what they do with Leia, except for the scene where it still bothers me. The fact that she uses the Force to get back in the spaceship is stupid. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life. And I'll never forget the moment in theaters when I saw that. I literally physically felt upset and like sick. I couldn't believe that they were doing that to this character. I love the moments where Luke is training Rey. I love the moments where Luke kind of gets that nostalgia back in terms of, you know, seeing R2-D2, seeing Chewbacca. The moment between him and Leia is so precious, and it's one of the most emotional scenes watching it again, knowing that this was Carrie Fisher's last scene ever with Mark Hamill, and what a scene. I mean, it's so touching. And the acting from Adam Driver in this movie is absolutely incredible. The dude can act, and I love him as Kylo Ren. He does such a good job of displaying emotion in this film and being very real. And we get to see kind of a growth and a matureness in this character, but still having those issues of kind of being too conflicted and being kind of impatient. And so I really love the character of Kylo Ren. He is my favorite character in this trilogy. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next. I love the moment with Yoda and Luke. I mean, there's a lot to really like about this film. I don't really want to continue to keep going and getting more and more into details, but I really do like this film. I think it's a very solid installment in the Star Wars franchise. Is it necessarily a great installment in the episodic saga? Maybe not, but I think this movie definitely has its place, and I hope the rumors of Rise of Skywalker kind of denouncing all of this movie, I really hope that's not true, because they really do some things with the characters that I really, really like. Anyway, guys, what do you think of Star Wars The Last Jedi? Let's be civil down below in the comment section, because I know that a lot of people, this movie is very polarizing, and it's very divisive, and so just make sure to be respectful down below in the comment section. Make sure you guys drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for more content just like this. My Rise of Skywalker review is next, which will be up later tonight. And as always, I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.